Greener Pastures EP3, The Price of Belonging. Deolu had never prepared for a performance this critical. That evening, the apartment was dimly lit, the curtains drawn, and a single candle flickering on the center table, casting restless shadows across the walls. Mike stood in the kitchen, shirtless, humming softly as he stirred a pot of jollof rice. Come. It had been 5 days since they signed the papers, 3 days since he appealed, and 5 days since he became someone's husband, on paper. No one warns you how even a fake marriage can feel like a cage. At first, everything seemed normal. Even safe. They practiced answers, took staged photos, memorized each other's fictional love story. Mike coached him like a talent manager prepping a star. My favorite color is gray. You can't forget that. My mother's name is Denise. Our first date was at a Thai restaurant. Say that with confidence. Mike's advice was oddly specific. Get a lease with both our names. Open a joint bank account, even if you don't use it. IRCC loves details like that. And don't forget pride parade photos, not just couch selfies. They want social integration. Deolu didn't ask how Mike knew all this. He was too tired to care. At the courthouse, Deolu sat across from Mike, pen trembling between his fingers, his heart thundering in his chest. The papers were crisp, the ink still wet, each stroke a quiet surrender of pride, hope, and maybe even identity. He told himself this was survival, that this staged marriage was his only shot at a better future and a chance to remain in Canada. They posed for photos with arms slung over shoulders, cheeks pressed close, smiles stretched too wide, trying to look like they were in love. They submitted their sponsorship package, complete with letters, rent receipts, concert tickets, and carefully staged selfies. But after that, there was silence. Weeks bled into months until Deolu stopped checking the mailbox altogether. Immigration had been watching closely, and then one morning, 6 months later, it arrived, the letter that would change everything. The Refugee Appeal Division informed him that his appeal had been allowed. He had been recognized as a convention refugee under Section 96 of the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act. He could stay. For the first time since arriving in Canada, Deolu exhaled. Finally. Stability, he thought. Just play along until it's over. But what he didn't realize was that safety, when built on someone else's terms, always comes at a cost. In Mike's word, stability came with surveillance. It was just an ordinary night at the bar when the change began. Stacy walked in with a small group of classmates, laughing at something she could barely remember seconds later. Bright eyes, easy smile. They had taken a boring elective together. She spotted him first. You work here? She asked. Trying to survive, he joked, drying a glass behind the counter. They talked, laughed. There was something about her that felt real, and Deolu liked the feeling. When her friends left, she waited for him. She said she lived nearby and asked if he wanted to grab tea or just talk. He hesitated, thinking about Mike, the warnings, and the delicate web of lies he had wrapped around himself. But loneliness speaks louder than logic. At her place, they talked, music playing low, a small heater humming in the corner. She let him rest his head on her lap while she read aloud from a random book. For the first time in months, he didn't feel like a fraud. He didn't feel like an immigrant, a faker, or a burden, just a boy a girl liked. They didn't have sex, but he hadn't felt this safe in a long time. Before dawn, he slipped out quietly, smiling the entire walk home. That smile disappeared the moment he turned the key. The lights were off, and the room felt too still. Mike sat by the window, jaw clenched, phone in hand. Where the hell were you? Mike demanded. Deolu froze. It's not what you think. I met someone. Nothing happened. I just needed to, but Mike cut him off. You what? Are you forgetting you're gay, Deolu? Or do you want immigration to figure that out for you? The sentence hung in the air like smoke, choking, heavy, reeking of threat. Mike stormed off, but in his eyes, Deolu saw something deeper than anger. It looked like jealousy. The next day at school, Stacy greeted him with a warm hug. Startled, Deolu shrugged her off too quickly. "Sorry. I have a migraine," he muttered before dashing away, guilt gnawing at him. When he got home, the apartment felt different. Too clean. The air carried the rich aroma of jollof rice, but there was undeniable tension. Mike, shirtless again, stood in the kitchen smiling with a calculated calmness in his eyes. "You're home early." "Good. Dinner's ready," he said. Deolu blinked, confused. "What's going on?" he asked. Mike stepped too close, leaning in to whisper, "Immigration is watching. Play along." Deolu's chest tightened. Was someone really watching? Or was this another game? Fear obeys instinct, and so he played the role, smiling, touching Mike's arm, letting the kiss happen. Mike seized the moment like his life depended on it, hugging him tighter, kissing him longer than necessary. When they finally pulled apart, Mike grinned. "They've gone. You're a damn good actor. And a good kisser." That night changed everything. Mike's hands began to linger, longer, lower, without asking. He started telling jokes that weren't jokes. His tone curled like venom. "You remember who saved you, right? If you mess this up, you're not just going back, you're getting banned for life." He began tracking Deolu's schedule, monitoring his classes, insisting they attend LGBTQ+ events together. To Mike, it was all part of the game. To Deolu, it was humiliation. Then one night, Mike made it plain, "Sleep with me, or I report you." Deolu's breath caught. "Mike, that wasn't part of the deal." "You know I'm not," but Mike stepped closer, voice soft and cruel. "Then tell immigration that, sweetheart. You've got 2 weeks to decide." He winked, a twisted smile curling at the edges of his mouth, and walked out, slamming the door behind him. Deolu stood frozen. 2 months had passed since he started seeing Stacy. Unbeknownst to him, Mike had seen them cuddling behind the student lounge. "What have I become?" Deolu wondered. "How did I get here?" But none of these questions weighed more than the quiet grief he felt whenever Stacy crossed his mind. He became distant, quieter, lingering after lectures to avoid going home. Stacy's presence felt like fresh air after months underwater, but he couldn't bring himself to tell her the truth. "I created this mess. I'll fix it myself," he told himself, kissing her forehead and forcing a smile. 5 days passed. One night, after his bar shift, Deolu returned home around 2:30 am. The lights were off, the house still. He paused in the hallway, hearing Mike's voice, low, calm, sinister. He learned. "Canada teaches everyone something." Deolu froze. That line, he remembered it. Mike had said it the night they made the deal. His chest tightened, blood pulsed loudly in his ears. Who was Mike talking to? What were they planning? That night, he couldn't sleep. Eyes wide open, muscles clenched, breath shallow. The walls felt as though they were closing in. The air grew thin. He understood now, he wasn't safe. "I need to act fast," he thought. Eventually, sleep came, fitful, brief, until a loud bang rattled the door off its hinges. To be continued.